take 149,000.
Hey guys, it's Ron Bass. Yep, that's me. With another edition of, guess what? The Ron Bass Show. It's your source for inspiration, encouragement, motivation, dry humor.
Yes, sometimes.
Mr. Brent Atterbury, what say you, sir?
Hey,
Hey is for horses.
today is a beautiful, amazing, above average, crazy. I think we're going to hit, today we're going to break a record, I think, hit a high.
For real?
Yeah.
You said you got high today?
I did not get high, but it is going to break a record high today. It's going to be warm for this time of year.
So when you say break a record, it's not like taking, remember the old days they would take the LP and they would smash it?
No.
To make a point.
I don't remember that.
That's right, I'm older than you, I forgot.
What are they breaking records for?
Well, they were just making a point, protesting.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of records, my good friend Danny Phillips, DJP, and I work
Great
out
guy.
together. Great guy. You know him.
Yep.
In fact, any rate, he works out with me at the gym quite often. We see each other and we visit. And world-class DJ, does shows all over the world. Really, really talented guy. But he has a record business where he sells records on. It's called Whatnot. I think it's the app where you go on live and stream and sell whatever you want to sell. So he has a record store, and he buys vinyl from all over the United States, and then he goes on this show and he sells it. Because people just love vinyl.
Yeah.
Well,
making a huge
a lot of
comeback.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a great business going.
Yeah.
On top of his
Timing's perfect.
on top of his entertainment that he does, so he makes income two different ways. We talk about business and fitness when I'm in the gym, and great guy. Any rate, so here's a very current story. I'm in the bank today, making a deposit, and the bank teller is a super nice guy, young guy, he's a soccer guy. So we were talking about martial arts the other day, and says he might want to come in and learn because he's an athlete, young guy, wants to learn self-defense and wants to learn another art, another sport. At any rate, he says, "How's it going, Ron? How you doing today?" And I said, he said, "I guess you're busy." And I said, I thought to myself, what's the synonym for busy? So I said, productive, ambitious, progressive, creative. And he looked back at me and he goes, "Yeah, all those things." And I thought to myself, it's another example of when you're around somebody that's animated, to engage with them, have conversation, share some fun, share some knowledge. And it doesn't have to be even somebody you know. It could be a stranger. Where was I at yesterday where that happened? I know where it was. I was at a customer's home. And I brought my employee in with me. He's a plumber. And we walked inside the house. Well, the father wanted to show my plumber what's going on under the house. There's a plumbing issue. And so while he was under the house with the father, I was engaging with the daughter-in-law and the son. And we were just going on and on about all kinds of interesting things. Like, she said, "Yeah, I've been in 22 automobile accidents and none of them were my fault." And I thought, oh, wow, this is going to be interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. And then she said, "And my knee this and my knee that." And I said, "Well, I can relate to the knee. Have you had injections?" "Yeah, but I don't like them." "And have you thought about replacing the knee?" "Yeah, but I don't know if I want to do that." And I said, "Yeah, I know what you're saying." And so what I'm getting at, guys, is look, sometimes it's just good to have conversation with people, even if you don't really know them, because maybe that takes them away from something they're going through that might be maybe it's not such a great day. And it gives them a little bit of a distraction for a while. Plus, put a smile on their face and maybe tell a joke or two, and you get the idea. So I just wanted to bring that up. You never know when you're going to make a friend. You never know when something positive is going to come out of a conversation that just came out of nowhere.
Well, and I've never met anyone that's been in that many accidents before. So I've
22 accidents.
That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. The whole world's crazy, and we're crazy too.
Yes, 22.
A lot of craziness going on around the world, by the way.
I would stay away from cars if I were her.
Wow.
I think they're possessed.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Okay, what else are we going to talk about today? Dogs.
I love dogs.
I know you do.
I'm a dog person.
I know you are.
Yeah.
So they say that men, people that own dogs, live longer. I don't know how they've come up with these studies or surveys, but this is what they're claiming, which kind of makes sense because the dog makes the owner feel better.
Yeah.
Soothing, comforting, et cetera, et cetera. But they also say it has something to do with the gas that the dog emits. I don't know. I don't mean like like farting
Flatulence?
gas.
Oh.
No, something like that when they breathe or when they exhale. Something about the gases that they say makes the owner healthier, which of course in turn helps them to live longer.
If that's the case, people would have 5 or 10 or 20 dogs in their house.
Well, they're probably going to live to be really old.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
That is.
Yeah. Not sure where they came up with that or why they came up with that, but at any rate. Speaking of living longer and really sad news this week, my hero Chuck Norris passed away.
Yes.
He was 86, and I've been saying to my friends all week, something just doesn't seem right because the guy appeared to be in great health. I know he was old, but still, he worked out every day. They filmed him right before he died. And I was thinking to myself, maybe he had an accident. Maybe when he was boxing with his trainer at his place in Hawaii, maybe he got hit the wrong way, maybe something happened, maybe he fell and hit his head. But more and more stories are coming out suggesting maybe he did have a heart condition. I don't know.
Wow.
Not that it's that important, but it's just really sad when somebody of that stature passes because he had so many friends and so many people looked up to him. It's just, some of my local students here in Springfield got me a T-shirt one time, something about me being like the Chuck Norris of Springfield, Missouri, because being the older guy doing sport.
Yeah.
And I still have this T-shirt with Chuck Norris on the front of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I looked up to this guy. He was phenomenal, not only as an athlete, but he was a great mentor.
Yes.
Helped a lot of people.
Yes.
Involved in a lot of charities, and you get the idea. And so his thinking was, if you can get these troubled kids into martial arts, man, what a difference that can make for them in their life. And so I look up to him in that regard, particularly in that regard, because that's what I'm trying to do with my school, is to let it be a place where people can come in and be comfortable, build their self-esteem, build their self-confidence, and learn how to defend themselves, which builds confidence, of course, because a lot of kids are bullied. A lot of kids. I was bullied when I was a kid. But man, I waited a long time to learn self-defense, but doesn't matter. I'm glad I'm learning. I'm glad I've engaged. I'm glad I didn't necessarily plan on opening up my own school, but regardless of that, I'm training anyway. And if I didn't have my own school, I would still be training. So I think you're wanting to say something over there.
No, I
see your body moving.
I had to burp, and I.
Speaking of burping, my father, may his soul rest in peace, he burped a lot.
Really?
Yeah, and I think I burp a lot.
Really?
I take Rolaids. I eat a lot of Rolaids, but I've never had like.
Have you ever seen the movie Elf, where he drinks that big Coca-Cola?
No.
Oh, you got to watch it.
Okay.
He does a burp that's possibly 30 seconds long. I mean, it's
Oh
a
my gosh.
long, long burp.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Okay, guys, I want to talk about success. Look, everybody wants to be the guy or the girl. Everybody wants to be at that high level of success where everybody knows you in the whole world, right? That's fame. But look, that's hitting the lottery. That's not as likely to happen as what I'm going to talk about. I think it's equally, if not more important, to set your own goals, whatever they are, and as you reach those goals, guys, that is success. You don't have to be, a famous movie star, or a famous athlete, or a famous business guy. Look, success is you setting a goal, working your butt off, being consistent, not giving up, ever giving up, reaching that goal. That is success. And I don't think people put enough emphasis on what I'm saying. I think people are, oh, I didn't win this, and oh, I didn't accomplish that, and oh, look at me, and oh, I'm a failure. No, you are not. You are successful because you engaged, you set the goal, you didn't give up, you reached a goal after a long period of time. Look, I can talk about my own personal life, and I think what happens is we become Debbie Downers on ourselves. Cannot do that. Be happy with your effort. Don't worry so much about how much money and how much people, talk about you and give you accolades. Don't worry about all that stuff, man. Focus on your goal, whatever it is, and when you reach it, man, pat yourself on the back. That is success. And that's what you have to focus on. And then once you reach that goal, we talk about it, set another goal. Set a couple goals. Set a financial goal. Set a personal goal. Hey, I want to lose 100 pounds. I've got students in my gym right now that are accomplishing just that. Several students that are losing a lot of weight, and they're working their butt off to get there. Calorie count, giving up the sweets, working out in the gym every day, quitting drugs. You get the idea. I wanted to throw that in because I've been thinking a lot about that lately. Everybody is so hung up on fame. Look, man, you're going to be famous in your own sphere. You don't have to be famous worldwide to be famous. Make sense?
Yeah. I think a lot of the people that are chasing fame, once they get there, they see the true side of what comes along with that.
Yes.
And I've heard of tons of celebrities that have just walked away from that.
Yeah, it gets to be too much.
Yeah.
And look, we talk about this all the time. Everybody's chasing the wrong thing. I said everybody. A lot of people, they're chasing the wrong thing. You've got to chase yourself into success. And you do that with eating right, exercising, resting properly, being around good people. We talk about that all the time. That's a big piece of the puzzle. Get rid of the bad people. Golly, man, you can't change anybody. So if you've got people in your life that are causing you grief and heartache, you have to get away. You cannot continue on with that situation and expect to be a successful human being. It is not going to work. It's going to wear on you. It's going to bring you down. Talk about a Debbie Downer. I know you love them. I know you don't want to let go. I know you hate change. It doesn't matter. You have to find the courage to get away from bad people. And when I say bad people, I mean people that are causing you harm mentally, physically, financially. It's no good, guys. I've been there. I've done this way too many times. I've graduated from that. You have to do the same thing. I know it's hard. Find some resources. Find a good preacher. Find a good rabbi. Find a good book. There's resources. Send me some questions, and I'll respond to you privately. Okay, one last thing, and I'm going to turn over to Mr. Brent. My boxing coach, great guy, Ephraim. In fact, he's been on our podcast. Told me the other day, he was saying, he was coaching me, and he says, no legs, no fight. No wind, no win. So, just cute little comments about the idea that you have to move your legs. You have to be pretty mobile, which in my case it's kind of hard with my knee that hurts, but I'm working on it. And then, of course, no win means you have to have good cardio. How do you get good cardio? You got to work out, man. The guy that can win the fight's the guy that can win the next fight. Don't ever forget that. Okay, Mr. Brent, your turn.
Did you just say the guy that can win the fight has to win the next fight?
The guy that can win the fight is the guy that can fight the next round.
There you go.
My bad.
That makes sense.
Okay. Speaking of sense, I was babysitting the other day, and I saw this 15-month-old kid put something in his mouth, and I thought, maybe it was like a crumb or something. And then I finally came over to him, and I got my finger in his mouth. He had a penny in his mouth.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh. And I thought, here I'm babysitting. I'm going to be liable if something happens to this kid. That's why I probably don't want to babysit anymore, but go ahead.
Quit throwing your money around.
I enjoyed babysitting. It was fun.
Quit throwing your money around.
I know.
Just kidding. So, do you know of anyone, or have you ever been abducted by aliens?
That's a whole other story.
No, I wasn't expecting that answer.
I'm kidding. I've read a lot of stories about it, but go ahead.
Well, you know what? I didn't know this, but New York has moved up in the rankings as the number 3 place for U.S. alien abductions.
For real?
Yeah, number 3. More people, I guess, get abducted there.
You think that's a real thing?
I don't know. The people that say they were abducted say it's real, but that is, I guess, for debate.
Wow.
And questions. And it's so talked about and perceived as real. There's actually, we've missed it. Today's the 25th. March 20th is National Alien Abduction Day. There's actually a day for that.
Okay.
But they did studies. They tried to figure out why, and some people said because of the pollution, they see all these different lights and things flying in the sky. But I don't know. So
I wouldn't be surprised if it's real.
It says,
and I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't.
It said that New York boasts a staggering 8,314 UFO sightings reported since 1974.
Wow.
One for every 1,003 residents, and it says you could get abducted in a New York minute.
Or a Minnesota second.
Yeah.
That's an old saying too.
And then I had to bring this up, whether this is funny or not as funny as the one I just talked about.
Okay.
But right below that, there's a article on there. They've got video of squirrels are vaping these cigarettes because they're fruity aromas, and they go over there and they got,
oh my gosh, that's crazy.
They've got video of these squirrels in these parks vaping, and I don't know what that's going to do. Probably not good things for the squirrel.
Good. No.
But today is International Waffle Day.
Ooh, we like waffles.
You like waffles?
Yeah. Pancakes more, but I like waffles.
Okay. Well. And it's Manatee Appreciation Day. Manatees. Those are big
fish.
Things that swim around in the water.
Yeah, big fish.
Yep. And then
I'd rather be a big fish in a little pond as a little fish in a big pond. That's another old saying.
It's Greek Independence Day.
Ooh.
And it's Little Red Wagon Day.
Aww.
Did you ever have a Little Red Wagon? So did I.
I did, man.
So did my kids and my grandkids.
My mother used to pull that wagon when I was a kid to the laundry, and I would follow her to the laundry with baskets in the wagon.
Yeah.
When my father was off and about doing whatever, and she would go to the laundromat. Didn't have washers and dryer back then.
Yeah.
Didn't have one. She did it the hard way. It's probably where I got my work ethic. She would never give up.
Wow.
See what I mean? You become who you surround yourself with. It's for real. Mm-hmm. It's not like a myth. I mean, it's not a hypothesis. It's reality.
So if I surround myself with 10 dogs in my house, will I become a dog?
Something like that.
Okay.
Is that all you got?
That's all I got.
Speaking of vaping, I have so many students that vape, and they share vapes, and oh my goodness. At any rate, look, and they always say the same thing. Oh, I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit. Look, man, I told the story. I used to smoke from 13 to 31, up to 3 packs a day. And yes, it's hard as hell to quit, but you have to go through the hell for a few months. You're not going to die. You're just going to be super uncomfortable, and you're going to have super cravings. But like I told everybody, I started drinking coffee, I started running, and between the endorphins and the caffeine, I ate a lot, gained a lot of weight. I got off of it, and I never went back. That's a long time ago. So the reason most people aren't going to quit is because you have to have the courage to do it. Damn it, you have to do it, because if you don't, you're later in life, you're going to it's going to be hell to pay. I didn't know this, but when people get pancreatic cancer, which is usually a death warrant, most of the reason, not always, most of the reason is because they smoke a lot. Oh. I didn't know that. I thought that was just like lung cancer.
Yeah.
No, it's heavy smoking. Patrick Swayze, brilliant actor back in the day, I didn't know this. Heavy smoker, and they said that's why he got it. He lived about 1.5 years, 2 years, but it's not just how long he lived after that, it's the hell that you're going through taking chemo and knowing that you're dying and losing the weight and dealing with that hell every day, on top of the fact that you're giving up life, right? Because you don't want to give up life, you enjoy life. There's so many reasons to quit smoking. I don't want to dwell on it today. I mean, we're going to get out of here, but guys, it's just somehow, some way, you have to figure out a way to give it up and stay with it, because you'll be a gazillion % happier. I can tell you from my experience at my age, if I would have kept smoking, I'm sure I would have been super sick or dead already, killed my father. I could go on and on and on. Look, just quit vaping and quit smoking. And if you want some encouragement, hit me up. I'll respond to you privately. Okay.
Save the squirrels.
Save the squirrels. We should get a big poster made. Save the squirrels, put it on the door. All right, guys, look, if you don't give up, just remember, and you better not give up. Sooner or later, the stars are going to line up, and you're going to be so much better off for it. But until that time comes, and even after that time comes, keep your head up, keep your chin up. And the most important thing, every day, all day long, is to always, always, always stay positive.